You're listening to Creatively Geeky, the support group for your creative process.
Hello and welcome to the Creatively Geeky Show. What? What are we laughing at?
Hello.
So y'all messed me up already. I'm your host for the evening, Eugene Stevens. Tonight I'm joined by Cyrus, Ray, and Chris. How are y'all doing?
You know that opening music makes me think of the Elaine dance from Seinfeld for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why.
That's interesting. Pardon me. Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch that episode and see if I can figure out why. Because I'm sure it was like that generic, '90s sitcom, like dance music, like that someone came up with and probably been used in like lots of different TV shows. Kind of like the hold music that's really jamming. That like the Cisco hold music. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. No, you don't know what I'm talking about? I will find this and send it to y'all. Yeah. Anyway, when you hear it, it's like, okay, this is kind of cool. But anyway, there's an interesting story behind that. I actually watched a YouTube video on it. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about what we've been watching, what we've been reading, what we've been doing, just kind of catching up. So with that said, would anyone like to go first? And what thing would you like to talk about?
Hello.
Sure, I'll go.
All right, Ray. What would you like to talk about first? What you've been watching, listening to, thinking, or doing?
I'm gonna stick with watching first.
All right.
Only because we had to pause it because Spider-Man: No Way Home Extended Edition is on right now, and I'm like, hell yeah, you gotta watch the extended version.
Extended edition.
Yeah. So there's some extra scenes with all the Spider-Man. There's some extra scenes with Jameson and like. Anyway, it's just a fun movie, and so there's also a different end credit scene. I don't know what it is yet. I'm trying to stay from the spoilers.
Everyone dies. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It is a Marvel movie. I mean,
It is. Well,
I mean, they'll all be back. I'm just saying, everyone could die.
Everyone did die at some point, I think, but maybe
Almost.
not.
Half of them died.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we're watching that, and I think if streaming services want to stay relevant, then yes, go get the extended versions of things because that's what people will watch.
Oh yeah. Like as soon as when I did sit down to watch the Lord of the Rings with the boys on Max, I keep wanting to call it HBO, but that's the old terminology. It was like
Legacy.
There you go. They were like, Dad, which one? What? I'm like, we're watching the extended versions. What do you mean? Which one are we watching?
Hey, can I just interject real quick?
Okay.
I got my Lord of the Rings extended digital versions back from Sony.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what happened, but they gave them back to me, so I got them all downloaded again. So
nice.
Because it went nuts on them. They were like, oh yeah.
Well, I have on occasion stirred some shit.
You and everyone else that got screwed over in that deal. Yeah.
I
have a friend who got fired on that one. They were like, "Oh, that was my job to make sure that license was kept up." Yeah, it was. So, well, cool. So you said there's extra stuff with the Spider-Man and
it's seamless. I will say it's seamless. There's some extra stuff with Ned and MJ. There's just it's sprinkled throughout, and I couldn't tell you the difference in runtime, but it's a great addition if you like the movie. So
nice.
Love that movie.
Yeah. See, the digital version of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire came out, and there's deleted and extended, scenes in it, and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So apparently nothing earth-shattering, except for people who keep doing, in the Facebook groups I'm part of, people keep doing freeze frames, and they're like, "Look, that's in there now." And
wait a minute. Freeze frames, Frozen Empire. That's earth-shattering. Ice.
Just gonna leave it there. Okay. Anyway, go on. So just people are seeing the set dressing on that had a ton of callbacks from all of the other movies and stuff like that. So people just keep stopping and they're just like they're literally stopping. They're like in the kitchen scene. There's one of the, if you remember in the second movie when they're doing the commercial and they're like, and 3, free thermal mugs for the kids, and it's got the Ghostbusters 2 logo on it. They have one of the mugs sitting up on a cabinet in the background. Like they did a really good job with the set dressing on that type of stuff. But anyway, so
there are some interviews in the high school performs in the Spider-Man thing, which is kind of fun. So
okay, that sounds fun. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess let's just kind of go on around. Chris, what have you been watching?
Really terrible romantic comedies.
Okay.
I don't know why. They took Sense and Sensibility off of Netflix Canada, so I'm salty about that. And they're going to take Pride and Prejudice in 2005 version off.
But they've got Pride and Prejudice and Zombies on there.
No, we don't talk about
Well, I mean, it sort of replaces Pride and Prejudice. Like it's like a.
It really
That movie doesn't replace anything but garbage in a trash bag. That's it. That movie was horrible.
Never did watch it.
No, I think no. I read the book, and I liked the book.
Oh, I love the book.
Yeah, the book was really good. Same with Abraham.
Abraham Lincoln. Yep.
The same author, and then both movies sucked. So I've been watching really terrible rom-coms that all turn out to have been books. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can't even remember their titles. The one I watched most recently, but I actually just shut off because it was terrible. It was called Irish Wish, which is the Lindsay Lohan one. It was awful, but it's based on a fucking book. But I would read the book because then it's like, yeah, it's a book. There's fantasy. There's like a wish fairy and stuff in it. I'm like, this is too much for Lindsay Lohan. I can't get on board with that.
A wish fairy?
Wish fairy in Ireland while she's sitting on a rock. I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what, I mean, it's Irish,
That tracks.
I mean,
yeah. But tomorrow, Bridgerton season 3 comes out. So.
Oh well, there you go.
I'll lose her for 2 days.
Maybe. I'm gonna try to pace myself because they broke it up into 2 chunks. So the first one starts tomorrow, and then the second one isn't until June. So.
She only has 4.
I think I only have 4 each time.
Just had a thought, and Eugene, you might be able to help me with this one. So, would the story change if they did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer? Would it change the story for Lincoln in the Bardo?
No, that movie still sucked.
It's so terrible.
That movie. I'm sorry. That book still sucked.
Oh yeah, and it's
But I'm just saying,
hangs out with a bunch of ghosts. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Instead of Edgar Allan Poe.
So now you're actually combining Ghostbusters,
No.
Lincoln in the Bardo.
Oh.
What?
No,
This is a bad book.
absolutely not.
You watch it.
Well, I mean, so just like random things that are on Netflix that are sitcoms, or you just kind of fill in the space until Bridgerton.
Yeah, well, my sister also has her Netflix account, so she loves rom-coms. She's a big Colleen Hoover fan, and so
they're not even B grade movies though. Like, let's be honest.
No, but they have
We're
some
into the
surprising
C
celebrities
and
in
D
them.
territory. Like this is.
There's some surprising celebrities. One of them I watched, it had Taye Diggs and Lucy Liu in it. I was like,
Probably out of like a contract that they signed well before.
it also was not a good movie.
when I think of romantic comedy, I think of Lucy Liu and Taye Diggs.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
Like that just makes total sense. The only one that I watched that was actually really good was Love at First Light, but it was a really cute story because it was probably the cutest one yet, but everything else is just like,
if you want to see the movie, just watch Learn to Fly, the audio or like the music video from the Foo Fighters.
oh, there you go.
Okay.
That's a romantic comedy. It's funny, but it's better than what you just
Knowing
I've
Chris,
se-
though, I was hoping that the end of that sentence was going to be love at first bite, and I was like, please tell me this is about vampires. Please tell me this is about vampires.
Is that the video where Dave Grohl's in drag and stuff? or am I thinking of a different video?
Sorry.
I was saying, is that the video where Dave Grohl is in drag? Like he's like a okay.
Yeah, he's a
That's a fun video. I like that video.
yeah.
It makes me feel kind of funny though. It's good.
Jack Black and Kyle Gass are on that as the cleanup crew as well. Yeah.
Nice. Cyrus, what have you been watching?
I watched that Fallout series.
Okay. Okay, well first let me start off by asking this. Did you play the games?
Yeah, I played several of the games.
Okay. So what would you think?
It's really good.
It's what I've heard.
The guy who plays the ghoul in that show is an actor that's been in a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really knew who he was. I kind of noticed him a little before, but I will tell you what, Walton Goggins is a name you will never forget once you've watched Fallout. He is amazing in that show. He is the best thing in that show.
If you ever get if you haven't watched it and you get a chance, watch The Righteous Gemstones on Max, because he plays Uncle Baby Billy. And his character is so freaking over the top. And when I saw they cast him in that, I was just like, well, that show is going to be fantastic just because of him. Like it can't not be fantastic because of him.
I think he's going to win an Emmy for it. I'm not even kidding, because I don't want to spoil anything, but he gets to perform like you really get to see his acting range, which is surprising. Like it's very good.
I've gotten through the first episode, started the second episode. Somebody won't watch it because of the gore level.
It's pretty gory.
So, which is fair.
But it's cartoony gory. It's not like
Doesn't matter. No.
yeah. All right.
But anyway, I really enjoyed the first episode. I have to say the casting that they've done is fantastic. And then the world that they created is like plucked right out of the like they
it's
really love that, so.
It's Jonathan Nolan, who did Westworld. It's Christopher Nolan's brother, and he really cares about it. Like you can tell they did so much detail, like stuff that they didn't have to bother with. And it's just, I mean, it's fantastic. It's got a couple of goofy moments, but I don't even mind. I think it's fun, you know? It's very good.
Nice.
I also got turned on to watching F1 racing.
Okay, so this is a follow up as to the last episode. So you went over and watched F1 racing with your brother.
He came over to my place.
Oh, okay. He came over to yours.
Yeah. Yeah, he came over. I was in the process of reinstalling all of my old games on my Xbox 360 because they're going to take the Xbox 360 down this summer. So I wanted to make sure I got everything installed on it. And I was like, man, I need a good controller. And he goes, I got you. And he was like talking to me. And he's like, I'm going to bring this over. And, you know, I have 2 consoles. I'm like, no. I don't need more Xbox 360s. I just need a controller. So, but he brought some games too. And then we watched racing. We watched, F1 racing. And I got to tell you, it was really good. You know, he kind of talked to me a little bit about the drivers and a little drama that was going on between them and stuff. But it was super fast and just really fascinating to watch these cars. And they did have a couple of wrecks and nobody got hurt, but they were like really cool wrecks. It was fun. It was way more fun than I thought it would be, you know?
Nice.
So are you going to go and find the Formula One racing reality show that they've got going?
What?
Is it Amazon or is it Netflix that has the?
I think it's Netflix.
I think it's Netflix. Yeah. So each season is an entire race season, and you follow along the different backstories of all the different teams. And
I think that's on. Do y'all hear that? What is that noise? It sounds like a submarine. I don't know what it is. Something outside.
Okay.
Anyway, is it in my head? What's
I
going
was
on?
gonna say, are you in the hunt for Red October? What's going on?
Engage the silent drive. One ping only. I was gonna say, so you have to watch the races on their app.
Mm-hmm.
So I installed the app on my Google thingy. I think that's what it's called, the Google thingy.
Yeah.
And Chromecast. And so I think they have those shows on there too, but I'm not sure because I just watched the races. But they have a bunch of stuff on their little app. So maybe it's on there too. I don't know.
Cool. Nice.
I'm new to this F1 thing. Like I normally play F-Zero.
That's a throwback. That's another. When are we going to get another, a newer version of that?
They said they don't want to.
Why not?
I think Miyamoto said he feels like there's nothing left to say in that universe or something to that effect.
Okay, then just at least update the graphics and port it over to the newer console. I'd be fine with that.
Everyone would buy F-Zero
yes.
GX if they put it out on the Switch. Everyone would buy it because it's a phenomenal game. It's fantastic.
It would probably make everyone vomit though, because just even the N64 version, like I purposely would mess with my roommate at the time because he'd be sitting there rewatching, and I'd get on one of those tracks that either have you're in a tunnel or you're on the cylinder, and I just literally like turn and the whole screen is just spinning. He's just like, "Oh, dude, you have to stop."
Yeah, on a big TV, that's yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So,
well, actually, so they have the the Nintendo Online service has N64 games. I think they actually had that on there.
Yeah, it's on there. Yeah, I've played it. Yeah, it's fun,
Yeah.
but I'd love to see it with updated graphics. So,
F-Zero GX, the one from the GameCube, that's the one they need to like.
Oh no, I'm sorry, that's the one. Yeah, GX was freaking awesome.
We'll see what happens.
Problem is, Nintendo doesn't like to do stuff like that.
Oh no, they're weird.
Nintendo's they're like, what do you think we should do? Well, we'll do the opposite.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, remember this game that no one's been asking for? We're gonna remake it.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I guess I needed Paper Mario in my life again.
or we'll release only 100 of them so that the people that buy them are the ones that are going to get rich off of it.
Yeah.
Not
shit.
Not Nintendo. Yeah.
So. All right. Well, enough about that. What have I been watching? I really haven't been watching much. In fact, the last thing I can actually say I really watched was I finished at least the season that are out right now of Foundation on Apple TV Plus. And I've never read the source material. I've never actually read the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. I know a little bit about him, but I started watching it and I was like, this is interesting. This isn't bad. Before I started, I was like, are they going to do, or I'm sorry, I think I finished the second season. I was like, well, I wonder if they're going to do a third season, because they obviously left it to where you could have a third season. And I was like, I wonder how closely they follow the books. So I go online and I start looking, and apparently it is like the books in name and like a couple of characters, and that's it. And I'm like, okay, I still enjoyed this, but I was sitting there thinking, I was like, this, like, Isaac Asimov is like the hardest of hardcore sci-fi. And there's some mystical stuff in this TV show, and I'm just like, this doesn't seem very Asimov. And sure enough,
Manon won't even talk about it. Like he's very upset. He's a big Asimov guy.
Everyone else who is a fan of the original work, but like I said, that's why I think I'm enjoying it, because I'm not a huge fan of it, which is almost making me think, should I go back and read the books? Because I don't want to be like, what, screw that. That was totally horrible. I'm not going to watch the next season. So, but yeah, I finished watching those. I am going to go back and watch Silo because we were talking about it on the book club, and I actually finished all 3 books in that series. And the stuff that is in the first season of the Silo TV show on Apple TV Plus is not in any of the books at all. Like, it's funny, we were having a conversation about them, and the second book is a prequel book, and I was like, well, maybe they're going to tell the story chronologically. That might make sense. So maybe the stuff we're watching, this is like prequel stuff to the book. Maybe this is in the second book. No, it's not in the second book. And I was like, well, maybe it's a flashback in the third. Nope, it's not in the third one either. Like, it's just all new made up stuff.
It's
So,
like my
yeah.
favorite part of Lord of the Rings when the Arwen gets some water horses that come up and they come after the orcs. It's my favorite part. It's my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yep.
Love it.
So while we're on that subject, thoughts on the what is it? The hunt for Gollum, the what is it
Yeah, Hunt
called?
for
The quest for
Yeah.
Gollum or whatever. Cyrus, you don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Hunt for
No.
Gollum. Yeah.
Hunt for Gollum. It's what, 2 new movies?
I know who Gollum is.
Yeah, they're doing, I think, 2 new movies, directed by Andy Serkis.
Oh,
Obviously,
I heard
he-
something about
Yes,
this.
he
Yeah.
obviously is going to play Gollum in it, but it's
Hmm.
like, what are we basing this off of?
And he's getting a little older. He needs to be careful. He's gonna break a hip.
Motion
CGI.
capture, yeah.
Yeah, but it's Andy Serkis. He's not gonna, he's gonna want to do like he's gonna want to get down in there and do it.
Oh yeah, like I mean, even when he does interviews and he starts doing Gollum, he like jumps up on the seat and he's all hunched over, and like he has to get into that
Oh, yeah.
character.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
He,
so
he is so cool. I love Andy Serkis.
yeah, he's freaking awesome. But yeah, so that's about the only thing I've been watching, and of course, I'm trying my best. I already have hints as to what's going on in the X-Men 97 series. I stopped at like episode 4. I've got to get back around to it because all I know is it's beating the hell out of people's heartstrings. So
I have
it's
to. I haven't
very
even
good.
seen it yet. What is it on?
Disney Plus. So
Everything's on a different service.
oh yeah, that's the thing. Just pick a service for the month, pay for it, watch everything, and then cancel it, and then go to the next one. So
Yeah, that's.
We're starting to plan on doing because
Yeah.
it's just getting ridiculous. So
Or I could set my sails on the sea, and yar.
okay, fair enough.
yes, that's and you know what, there are more
I'm
going to be doing that. I'm sure.
I'm not gonna do that.
I was gonna say, good
wouldn't.
luck with
Oh,
that.
I
Hope,
just got that.
hope your antivirus is more than up
Yeah,
to date.
dude, it's not worth it anymore. It's really
I'm gonna
not.
say,
No.
I'm like, do I really want to not pay $7 a month and have to reinstall everything on this freaking Windows system? No, it's not worth it. So,
You can have a burner computer do it.
well, that's true. You could do that, but
Yeah, no. Like,
Then you're wasting the money for the computer. So
right.
true
But
enough.
then it doesn't go to the anyway. Sorry.
Tell you what, we'll go, Chris. What would you like to talk about next? Listening to, thinking about, or doing?
Listening.
All right, listening. What have you been listening to?
Are you listening?
I'm listening to you.
I don't know. I can see you.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure if people are aware, but Taylor Swift dropped a new album. I'm not sure if y'all are aware.
Who?
Exactly. She's really niche. Anyway, Logan's a huge fan, so she's so sweet. Anyway, she stayed up. It's a good thing she didn't have classes in the morning because it was like an ordeal. So she's like, Mom, okay, here we go. And so I had to listen to some of it. It's okay. It's a Taylor Swift album. Some of it I like. So there's this one song called, my favorite so far is I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 lines in it, and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm so depressed. I act like it's my birthday every day. And then I cry because I'm so productive. It's an art. And I'm like, that's what depression is like. That's what it's like. Nobody knows. You just act like everything's fine all the time. And yeah. Anyways, so that was kind of funky, but yeah, she's I think she's good. She's got it. I hope next album she finds a different sound. But she was letting it all out. She was no holds barred. She was telling everybody how she felt, which is what she normally does. But she was like angry this time. It's like Eddie angry.
I want to see her go like hardcore death metal.
Oh yeah, she can do it. She can do anything. And then the other thing I'm listening to, I just started it a couple days ago. It's for my other book club, and it's called The Women by Kristen Hanna. It's a historical fiction about an RN named Frankie McGrath, and she is a nurse in Vietnam, and just about her right now. She's only been there for a few days, but just she's coming from this very affluent family in California. Her brother had enlisted. He died. She signed up because she thought she was going to be out there with him, but after she signed up with the Army, they were told that he died and she had to ship out anyway. And just the disillusionment of it, of being told, in America, like it'll be over before you know it. We got to stop communism. This is a great thing that we're doing. And then she gets there and it was all a lie. So she's slowly finding that out right now, but it's really, really good. And I've never listened or read any of Kristen Hanna's stuff, but apparently she does. All of her things are historical fiction. So,
okay.
So I'm gonna, if this is good, which is so far is, I think I'm only like three hours in. I will check out her other ones too, because I think she's got one where two French women have to deal with the German invasion in World War II. So,
how would you cast it if it were a rom-com?
So the main character, she's 21. So who would I cast? Maybe I would want to say Millie Bobby Brown because it's like around the same age, but I don't know if she could pull off a.
She's in everything right now.
She is in everything.
And we watched Damsel, and that was not good.
No, it was terrible.
Ooh.
I don't know who I'd cast. And I don't think she's
an
unknown. An unknown. Yeah, you know what? An unknown. An unknown.
Unknown or an unknown?
An unknown who needs a big break. She's been in a couple of things, some TV stuff, but like this is her big break.
Ooh, a child actor who wants to restart their career.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, those are the things that I was.
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
He plays 11. I was listening to
Will Wheaton. I'm sorry, but Will Wheaton is creepy as hell. Like every time I see Will Wheaton, he's got this crazy smile on his face. Like once upon a time, he's a good actor, But like every time I see him when he does like a cameo and something, or you just see him, he's always like, and you're just like, whoa. Anyway.
Yeah. But I was listening to the book that Sean recommended, which was Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clark. But it is so long. It was 32 hours, which I have done before.
32 and a half.
And it is in Regency, which is my preferred time period, but it's boring. I don't even care. I think I have 10 hours left. And
I don't think anything 32 hours long is going to be like super compelling, like all the time.
I've listened to 2.
There's the new Lord of the Rings coming out this summer in theater, and it will be 32 hours long. So
yes.
That's a big ask. It's a big ask.
Both of Patrick Rothfuss's books are one's 30 something hours and the other one's 42.
You could do a double speed. Remember what Eugene when you used
to listen to anything double speed? I don't know how Eugene does it.
Eugene used to listen to everything double speed. You still do that?
Yes.
I listen to all my podcasts double speed. I listen to my audio books double speed. I listen to YouTube double speed.
That one year we all went to visit and Eugene had been listening to everything double speed and he was talking too fast and we were like, what's wrong with Eugene? Like he was like, and we were like, Lou pointed it out. He's like, is he talking too fast? And I'm like, yeah, he's talking too fast.
I think y'all were too drunk. That was the problem.
Well, that might have been the case as well. Look, the two are not mutually exclusive. Like, it could be both. I'm just saying.
So I got in the car with Jen, and she was listening. It was at least time and a half. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "It's fine. I can deal with time and a half." At least, and I said, "At least it's not double time." She said, "Yeah, I'm not Eugene."
Time and a half is what I put it on if I need to concentrate on it. Like,
God
because
dang.
otherwise it seems like they read the book like this, and I'm like, no, speed up.
That's some next level neurodivergent shit right there, Eugene. That you're listening to shit on double time because it's
That might be the problem. Like the choice of content. That might be what's going on.
No, anyway.
Because I'm like, how the hell can you watch YouTube at double speed?
Okay,
Can't
well,
even-
a lot of the stuff that I'm watching is like instructional stuff, so a lot of times they're kind of speeding it up anyway. But it's fun.
Yeah,
I've just trained my
they're
brain that way.
They're speeding it up anyway, and then you do it at double speed. How the hell do you get any instruction from that?
Okay, well, let me put to you that, like that video that Manon sent that was 2 hours long about GoldenEye. I got a lot of stuff from that at double speed. So it only took me an hour to watch it, and I was like, man, that was really good. Like, I was like, I may have to check out and see what else this guy's done, because
All right,
that was
you're
a pretty in-depth review he did.
well. Why don't you just watch movies at double speed then?
No, okay, see, that's the problem. That's where I draw the line at TV and movies.
there's the line.
Yeah, but you'll do soap opera effect on your TV, and it doesn't bother you.
No, that's been long, dude. That's
Oh.
been a long time ago.
Mm.
Yeah, that
Oh,
wasn't my choice.
Oh, did you? You don't do that no more. You've moved past the era.
I don't even know if they offer that anymore. To be
Oh, I don't
honest
know if
with
they
you.
do either. My TV doesn't have the. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that was like what 2 or 3 years. That was like the big thing they were doing, and then they're like, no, this isn't working. Let's do 3D, and then they moved past that, and
Yeah.
now it's just like, fine, here's 75 inches for $400. What do you want?
Yeah. HDR. What do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
Here's 16K. Okay, but
Yeah.
your eyes can't detect the difference between it's 16K.
Nothing's even filmed this high. So
On the box of my PlayStation 5, it says 8K, and I'm like, bullshit.
exactly. Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? It's whatever.
Yeah, what are you going to render in 8K, Pac-Man?
It doesn't output 8K. No, and if it did, how would anyone know one way or the other? Nobody has 8K.
Hey, your TV definitely isn't 8K.
Like they could just go, oh yeah, it outputs 8K. Sure. Like, can you prove it? I mean, if you got a TV, like no. Well, it does. It
There's
does.
2 YouTubers that are going to go check it out. That are going to like, well, I spent $8,000 on an 8K TV so I could actually see. And you know what I noticed? Nothing. I couldn't tell a damn thing.
There's no. It's nonsense. I'm watching DVDs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fine. Like this is all a bunch of BS. This whole because we can only see, and the older we get, the worse our eyes get anyway. So what the hell are we doing?
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
I've told this story before, but Chris is walking around. So
Is everything all right? Is we good?
she's
okay.
going to come back in. So I've told this story before, but I love it so much. So we sit down to a movie, and we just got an HD TV, and I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. She's like, I don't give a shit. Like, I can't tell the difference.
I couldn't tell the difference. So
So
if you're gonna make fun of me, I'm gonna say it.
well, so the next TV we got was a 1080p,
Uh-huh.
and somebody had glasses.
I'd gotten a prescription in between the time, and so we put on Finding Nemo, and I was wearing my glasses, and I said, "Never mind, I get it." I was so pissed because I did one of these.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, oh,
Oh, it was just my
it was
eyes.
just me.
But
That's
we're
funny.
now into the era that 8K, 4K doesn't mean shit.
No,
Nope.
and I
It
didn't
doesn't.
care before. Like, it doesn't. It's all lost on me anyway. But like, it's so
Most of the movies, they don't even shoot the movies at 4K. Most of the movies they shoot at 2K.
Yeah.
So there's literally no difference.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
Mhm.
It's
So.
conspiracy.
All right, Cyrus, what have you did we already move on to you? No, we were talking about what we were watching or what we were listening to. So
Listening.
Cyrus, what have you been listening to, Cyrus?
You got off on a tangent.
Nothing. I mean, not really. Like radio on the way to work and
epically geeky on the weekends.
Yeah, I listened to the intro song, which made me do the lane dance, Rose. I don't know. I don't really. I don't pass.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That actually leads right into so the only two things I've really been listening to was on the last book club show. Sean brought up that there's a couple more Ishmael books out, and I've been doing inventory at work, and I thought, yeah, that's comforting. That's what I'll do. I started book 7 tonight. I've already run through the first 6, so because double speed. So
You're welcome. I brought it up.
yes. Oh, you're the one that brought it up. Thank you.
Do you have to drink like a shitload of caffeine so that your brain like equals out to the double speed?
That's the funny thing, dude. I drink nothing but water, and like I have maybe 1 0 drink at night or during the day, and that's not caffeine either. So, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah,
What a gift, Eugene. It's a gift.
You're
guess so.
weird.
No, and so the funny thing is I actually had my doctor's appointment, my annual checkup. Was that yesterday, day before? Anyway, and I remember to ask about a few things, but I forgot to ask him about possibly checking into some ADHD medication because I think it may help with my hearing.
Your hearing?
You like a auditory processing?
Yeah, I think that's from I heard someone mention it on a podcast, and I done a little research, and they're finding that some people it's not that you can physically hear the things, like you can hear the tones, but your brain is doing other things or is running at a different speed and you're not comprehending it. And I ran into that really bad actually the other night. Christy was trying to tell me, she was trying to tell me, can you please get the banana pudding out of the fridge? And for whatever reason, like that's not something we normally have in the house. We had gone to get barbecue the night before and had, that's kind of a traditional thing that goes with that. And it just didn't register. Like I was like my brain could not comprehend it. And I was like, I'm sorry, babe. I need you to say that like one more time. And this is like the 3rd or 4th time. And she's like, when she said it, then it clicked. And I'm just like, I could hear her talking to me, but my brain was not comprehending what the fuck she was telling me. And I'm pretty sure I need to check into that because I have a bad feeling that may be part of the reason why I have to keep having people repeat things sometimes is because if I'm not absolutely focused on it, my brain is probably processing doing something else and it's just not taking in that information. So
what you should do is record her and then just play it back double speed and then you'll be okay.
Fuck you.
Yeah, there might be something there.
Just keep you a little recorder, and every time somebody talks, you hold it out, and then just play it back double speed. Listen.
Double speed. Okay, yeah.
So this is Home Alone 2, and then you can speak at your normal and play it back to us slow so we can understand you.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I need a translator then. So
talk boy. Yep, just a talk boy. You're good.
The other thing the only other thing I've really been listening to, and it just kind of got stuck in my head. I freaking love, and I go back. I've got a whole playlist on YouTube, and I don't listen to it at double speed. I keep it at a single speed because it's technically music. But Epic Rap Battles of History, and the one they dropped just a couple of weeks ago of King Kong versus Godzilla is the beat on it's fantastic. The disses are absolutely awesome. And if you're not familiar with Epic Rap Battles of History, go watch the video and then go to the ERB2 channel. And that's where they do the making of. And on this one was actually really interesting because this is the first time they've ever dropped the video. And then it took a couple of days afterwards for them to drop the behind the scenes stuff. And it's because they were trying to figure out how they wanted to do it. And they're like, well, I don't know if I want to do it'd be kind of cool to be in a big rubber Godzilla suit. And they're just like, I just don't know. He's like, I don't know how this is going to work. And then someone was like, hey, do you want to try to do this like motion capture in like Unreal Engine? And they're just like, well, yeah, I guess we can give it a shot. And it turned out fantastic. And they're just like, oh my God, this is a totally new realm of tools like this opens up so many other rap battles that I was like, I don't know if I want to do this because it's going to be kind of hard to do the character and because they even reference like when we did Thanos versus J. Robert Oppenheimer. They're like the suit he was wearing was okay. It was definitely kind of a goofy looking Thanos suit or whatever, and they're just like, I wouldn't have a problem going back and doing some of this stuff. But anyway, so go back, watch the making of because there's some really good information in there, and then go watch some of the breakdowns because, like, the thing about these rap battles is they're so well researched. You can go through and listen to them multiple times, and unless someone points out certain things, you're not going to catch it. Like, so one of the disses was Godzilla tells King Kong something or another about. What's up, dog? This Kong's getting conquered. And I'm just like, okay. It's a reference to those dog toys, those Kong dog toys.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize that. Like, I was just like, that's totally out of the blue, but they pulled it in for that. And so anyway, if you go through and listen to their raps, they're highly educational. There's a ton of information in them. They do a ton of research.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What was it? Godzilla? What is this? The subject of this one?
Godzilla versus King Kong.
And this is epic rap battles of history.
Yes, they do some fictional stuff too.
I was about to say it's not really historic, but I mean.
So,
by the way, you talking about this made me think if I ever do cosplay, it's gonna be Godzilla. I need a giant like a Godzilla.
I've met a guy who has a Godzilla costume, and I was talking to him about one time, and I was just like, "Have you ever thought?" I said, "I'm not trying to." I'm like, I know how it is when people come up and give you an idea, and you're like, "Ooh, that might be a good idea." And I was like, I'm just asking, have you ever thought about putting LEDs in the spines so that they will light up? And he's like, "Yes." He said, "I'm trying to figure it out now," and I'm like, "Dude, that would be so freaking awesome, as if all the spines would light up like they do in the movies."
What I would want is a Godzilla outfit, but dressed up like one of those dinosaurs from that TV show, The Dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Funny.
The making of, if they did it as like a pop-up video, I think that'd be even better.
See, that would be fantastic. I wonder if they would ever think about doing that. The only thing is some of their comments are really fast, and you almost like the pop-up would almost have to be too big, or there'd be too much information to explain why this is
it's like
real big deal.
And then it like scrolls.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. So
I remember there was some pop-up videos where like if you missed the bubble, it was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It was quick. I was like, oh shit, I can learn how to read quicker.
I play a lot of RPGs, so yeah.
A lot of pop-ups. Ray, what have you been listening to?
Two things. So one is Working Class by Nathan Lowell. I got about like 8.5 hours left or so on that one. So I finished school days. I'm on a working class. It's been I don't mind where they're going with the story. It's continues Ishmael's journey, so I'm all in. So
okay.
The other one is Incubus. The band Incubus has re-released Morning View. It's Morning View 2023. If you are a fan of Incubus and you enjoyed Morning View, this is a re-recording of those songs, but more how they play it now live. But it's like an album version of it. So we were listening to it on Spotify. It was interesting to hear some of the tweaks and changes that they've done. So
it's still really good though. It's not like
it's not like it's totally
subtle.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
yeah.
Interesting. So they re-recorded it, or
yeah, did a complete re-record last year, and then they were going to release it in October, and then it got delayed, and so it was just released last week.
Yeah.
So I think May 10th.
The only bummer is for you is that you can't get a digital.
I can't find a digital copy of it, so I could buy a CD of it, I could buy a record of it, or I can listen to it on Spotify. But I can't find a digital download of it. Like I can't buy the album on digital for some reason. So, which is weird.
Well, can't never could.
Have the voices changed a lot in your opinion?
No.
Yeah, surprisingly, no.
No.
He's still very high pitched compared to what I thought he would have been.
Because I mean, it's
in the right range. Sorry,
Yeah.
like, it's not like he's like, oh, it's like, yeah.
No, his voice is really held up.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, because I've heard interviews with some people, and they were like, they're like, I really envy so and so for being able to go back and re-record, because they're like, the recording stuff is just so much better, and you can do so many more layers, and they're like, I'd love to go back and do that. They're like, but my voice just is not held up, and it's like I don't like the way I sound. I still tour and stuff, but I don't like the way I sound as much as back then. And of course, I'm sure their fans are probably just like, do it anyway. Like I don't care if I'll listen to the new version and the old version, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Johnny Cash, dude, like he was singing, and he barely had a voice, and he was singing, and those are some of everybody's favorite stuff that he did. Like
well,
just do it.
Green Day, right? Like they're still playing, touring, and
Yeah, and
everything too.
they sound the exact same.
They do. It's incredible.
30 years
Like,
ago. Yeah.
But. Yeah.
Cyrus, there's two last things to talk about. Would you rather talk about what you're thinking about, what you've been doing?
What am I thinking about?
Sure.
What are you thinking about, Cy? What's going on?
I'm not thinking about much.
F1 racing.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I set up another computer in my living room to stream.
Okay.
So I've got this computer in here with all my retro stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my living room, I moved my Switch and my Xbox and my PlayStation 5 and all that on my big TV. But I put a little table in there with that little microcomputer that I have that I wasn't doing anything with.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a monitor, and I had this monitor in the closet, but I couldn't find the AC adapter. So I just bought one on Amazon. So I have this little table set up for streaming, and I bought a new switcher and a new capture card just for the living room. So I can literally just pull up anything in there and stream from it and just have fun on my couch and not have to mess with any of this and not have to move stuff back and forth.
Nice.
I've been burning CDs for some friends of mine. My friends like weird shit. I mean, you too. You're obviously my friends. You like weird shit too. Just different weird shit, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've been burning 3DO games.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a whole stack of them that I'm about to mail off. Just it's funny.
3DO game. What?
What
was worth playing on? Sorry, but this is an insult. But what was worth playing on the 3DO?
This is the stack that I made.
Damn.
So they have some games that are on other things too, but they're better on 3DO, like Night Trap.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Starfighter, Need for Speed racing game, Alone in the Dark 2, Street Fighter 2. There's a really good version of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Dino Park Tycoon.
Oh Lord.
There's some interesting ones. Who Shot Johnny Rock?
I've only vaguely heard of that game.
It's a murder mystery.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of interesting stuff here. They have a good version of Sewer Shark.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah. I get into nonsensical older stuff. I like the weirder it is, the more interesting it is to me.
Fair enough.
That's why I like the Atari Jaguar.
Oh,
That's why I like the Jaguar so much, because it's so weird. Such a weird system, but I find it fascinating. So,
that controller is still.
Yeah. That's why I like the Atari 5200, because it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm a weirdo.
I'll never forget when my friend brought it over, and I'm just like, "What is with this controller?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know, man." So,
we shared the Jaguar, not so much because we wanted to like impress our friends, so much as we wanted to have a witness that this thing had actually happened.
I know, right? Oh, fair enough.
Because no one would believe.
Oh no, hell no. Hell no. Yeah, it was just this thing that was in the back of GamePro magazine. Like it was like that thing was real. Like
Yeah,
oh.
it was interesting for sure.
Thinking about I've been thinking about a Murphy door a lot. So
Describe to me what you're thinking of when you think of a Murphy door. Give me the implementation and the design. Like, what are you thinking?
well, so literally right here is the door into my office, and I really, really, really want to turn it into a Murphy door. I want it because on the other side of the door, it's a very short hallway. And having a bookcase or what looks like a bookcase there would not be out of place at all. And I'm just like, I really want to do a Murphy door there. The problem is though, is they are really expensive, even if you buy them as a kid. And then of course my friend Ray here has successfully pulled one off.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Part of me thinks
I
was going to ask you about this, Ray. So you bought the hardware from Murphy Door, right?
The only thing I bought was the hinges. Yeah.
Okay. So did it come with any kind of instructions or any kind of manual on like, hey, you need to when you build it, make it roughly like a 1/4 inch away from the door jamb, like anything?
Well, no, yes and no.
Okay.
It kind of didn't apply though because we weren't putting it into a space that
had
a regular door frame.
Okay.
So it was off center of the door.
I had to build the bookcase door frame first in order to fit the book door case.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the benefit that you have is that you've got a full width door that you're going to be working with, and you're doing a swing in rather than a swing out.
Right.
So the swing in will allow you some flexibility as well.
Okay.
Yeah, ours is very, very custom. There was no way we could have bought a kit.
So yeah, their kit. If you look at their measurements, we can go offline and talk about all this. But if you look at the measurements and everything, there are certain gaps that you have to make sure that you follow. And then once you have those gaps, it's a matter of just measuring and figuring out, and a little bit of trial and error. And then I think it took me 3 shots to get the bottom hinge in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Once that was in place, it took me 2 shots to get the top hinge in the right place.
Now we were dealing with a house that's 120 years old that is not level, not plumbed. So
right.
Yeah.
And so what I used was a plumb bob to figure out where the top hinge would go with the bottom hinge, just to line that up. And then it was a matter of figuring out. So that got me plumb this way, but to go properly,
it took them a whole day.
Took me a day to get that cabinet.
It took a whole day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Offline we'll talk if any notes you or videos or anything, because I've of course already started doing some research or whatever, and most everything I'm finding is either someone doing a completely custom job and they're not really talking about it. It's more so just kind of stepping through, hey, this is what I did, and just kind of showing it and not really talking about the process, or it's straight up videos of this video is sponsored by Murphy Door and I'm in they sent me one, and I'm just like, yeah, that'd be great if I bought one, but I really don't want to drop that much money on this thing.
So their instructions that they have for the hinge is specifically for their kit.
Okay.
So
you did a really good job, though.
Thanks.
You did it.
So anyway, but yeah, that's what I've been thinking about, and
can I say something about that? I want you to consider other options. Because the Murphy door thing sounds great, but you know Murphy's Law. But I was thinking there's other kinds of cool doors you could just, I'm just saying, consider. Like, get you a list, do your pros and cons, and be like, yeah, maybe, no, you know. Like, there's the Murphy door, which is obviously cool, you know. But you could do like the half door with the top opens, and then you got like a little counter, and you could be like, hey kids, you know, welcome to the shop, you know. Or you could do like a revolving door, like when you walk into like a hotel or something, and you know, and then you can lock it so they can't come in, but you can see them and talk to them through the glass.
Two-way mirror.
The only
Yeah.
thing I thought of when you said revolving door was that I can't remember which episode it was of TNG where they get stuck on that planet and they go through the revolving door and then immediately come back out. And I'm just like, I'm going to build like this circular thing in here. And it's like literally people just go, where the hell am I going?
Yes, do that. Or you don't do a door at all. And then you could just, hey, dude, you're not being reasonable. Just listen for a second. So you take the door out and you hang beads, or that opaque plastic strips.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
One word.
Meat locker.
One word. Cats.
The cats will love it.
No, they will not. Okay,
much.
yes. No, you are right. The cats will love it.
Yeah.
I will not.
Well, these are just ideas. This is just ideas.
Fair enough.
You know?
I thought for sure you were going to say something because I've always thought about doing it when we do, like, sometimes they'll do a door decoration thing at work. And I've always wanted to do a thing where I just cover the entire door in black and just have white letters, huge white letters that say exit on it, like from Gauntlet. But I don't think anyone would catch the reference. Like, there'd be like one other person. But anyway, no,
you could do a trap door also, where like you have to do a little extra work for that. But
yeah, here's the problem though, Si. I can get the Murphy door by the wife because anything in here is on my turf. It's fine, but technically the Murphy door faces outward, so has to get approval. So
see, it's a good point.
Yeah.
The wife factor is important.
Yes.
It is. Yep.
So
okay, all right.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, work on your PowerPoint for the wife, and then go through all the pros and cons and all that. You know, get it all together.
I will say though, the idea of doing the Dutch double door going into my shop would be kind of funny, especially whenever like someone comes to knock and I just open up the top half. And
I'm telling you, you would love that. You have a little counter. You get up on the counter.
Exactly.
You got your apron on, and
yes.
You put little signage with like prices for shit or whatever. You know what I mean? Could be hilarious. Yeah.
3D printing so much an hour. Like
Oh yeah, there you go. So,
or you could do like those castle doors that come down like over the moat.
Drawbridge?
Yeah, drawbridge.
It looks like a normal door, but it doesn't open like this at all. It literally just like fucking drawbridge.
Yeah, dude.
That would be pretty cool.
He would love that.
Hey, if it looks like a normal door.
These are just ideas. The great thing is, the more of the crazy ideas you get, the more it makes the idea you actually want look more reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. That's how I sold my first proton pack. Was I really want to do this, but by the time you buy the shell and you buy the different parts, it's like some people are spending like $1,500. I think I could build it for $400. Like, that seems reasonable, and I'm like, so yeah.
Jedi mind trick.
Fair enough. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I've been thinking about is it's going to happen. It's just a question of when, because sometimes we were like, oh, hey, things weren't as expensive. I was like, sweet, we got a little extra money. I can start putting it towards that. And then Alex dislocates his finger, and I'm like, well, there went that money. And so, yeah. We'll see. Ray, what you thinking?
I'm sorry. What headset are you using? It sounds really good. What is that?
Oh, this is just the one that I have like for my my Xbox. So.
Oh, it sounds good.
Oh, okay. Well, I just don't like the cans covering my ears the whole time during the show. So, but
fair.
Eventually, I will get everything set up in here and get my nice. Xbox.
Yeah, it looks kind of. You got all these boxes everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of jank, right? So, Ray, what have you been thinking about?
Two things. One is I can't stop thinking about Universal Studios Epic Universe. It's going to continue until we get there because it looks fucking awesome. And then the other one is Nick Cage reprising his role as Spider-Man for a live-action Spider-Man noir. I can't fucking wait for that movie.
That sounded. I saw that today. I was like, that seems interesting.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that.
So even though he didn't get his chance to play Superman, I mean, he kind of didn't want to, but
kind of dodged a bullet on that one, to be honest.
But I'm okay. Like him playing Spider-Man Noir, I'm good with it. I know there's some people complaining, oh, he's too old. I'm like, it's 1920s. He's never going to take the mask off.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think he would nail that character. So
I think so too. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So
I've been thinking about.
Chris, what are you even thinking about?
I'm really trying to think of something light here because every time I get asked this question, I like go down like stuff I should talk to my therapist about. I've been thinking about yes, taking half of everything.
Sorry. I distracted you.
You did. It went away. It's gone now. I've just been thinking about I don't know. Mostly right. The life, his birthday, so now he's 42 and everything. No, Bridgerton. There we go.
There you go.
Been thinking a lot about Bridgerton because it's coming up and the two leads are super cute. They're adorable together. And I told Ray, I'm like, I'm gonna be like insufferable while I'm watching this. Like you're gonna hear about everything. I'm gonna be so annoying about this damn show you've never seen ever. Prepare yourself. It's like I warned you. It's like I finished this book last night. It's the Third Crescent City book by Sarah J. Maas, and it's huge. It's like 830 pages, I think. Like it's a break.
Pretty hefty, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's so action packed that there's no lulls. Like it's just one thing after the other. You're like, you give them a break? Like, Jesus, woman, what are you doing? I realize they're fake people that live in your head. But maybe you should be nice. And she wasn't at all. The entire ton-page book that she wrote. So then he had to hear about it. Because I got annoyed and I took it personally. Yeah, so it was just thinking about how like I get so wrapped up in these ridiculous, but I don't watch reality television. So this is my
Well, there you go. This is I would say this is probably a much better substitute.
I think so because I get really, really involved when it is actually like real human people. Like it's too much. It's too much.
We allow 2 reality shows a year. One is always Survivor.
Always.
And the other one
is Love is Blind. That's it. That's kind of all I am capable of handling.
Fair.
It's those 2 things because I get way, way too judgmental about it. And it's not fair.
Invested.
Very invested. Like it's my responsibility or it's like so yeah. So I've had to really check myself on how much of that I watch. But this is like my version is these books. And I read a book for the other book club for last month, and it was technically it was a romance, technically because they met in like the first chapter and then they wound up together. It was the most fucked up romance ever. It was dark and it was just so unnecessary. And then the reviews on it was very split. It was like, oh my God, I loved it. And it was people are like, this is dumb. And I'm like, I don't know which one I'm in because I don't know what happened. And then we discussed it at book club and it was pretty much the same as those reviews.
I was going to say, so everyone was split?
Everybody, well, it was just like, what did I read? What just happened? Why would you? And then it came up and I was like, why would you write that? In what world did you feel compelled? You know what would be a good story? This. And then proceed to like this. It was varied by Colleen Hoover, if you ever want to look at the little blurb, but it was
dark.
No redeeming characters.
No.
You attach yourself to at least one, right? You're like, okay, I like this. Everybody else is crap. None. Nobody. They all sucked. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, it's hard to watch a show or read something or do something when no one's a redeeming character unless it's a comedy. Like sometimes then you're just like, okay, they're a horrible person, but it's funny to watch them, do whatever.
Yeah.
So
this was not it. And it just got me thinking about like, why would you write that? I understand there's like, obviously there's genres and niches and there's something for everybody. And I get that. But like as a romance genre, it is a happily ever after or happy for now. But the way it ended and how it all happened, I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah. Sounds like the Wheel of Time.
I've only read the prequel. I'm a little concerned with the others based on Jordan's writing of women.
Oh my God. I won't even go into it.
yes, I remember your rant.
Nobody wants to hear about Wheel of Time, and nobody wants to hear me talk about Wheel of Time.
Yeah, just that's it. That's what I'm thinking about.
Fair enough. All right. Well, the last thing on the list is what we've been doing. I got to the last. So I'm still working on the house. I am finally getting some rooms finished to the point that even like the artwork's gone up. And then there are other rooms that haven't really been touched yet. The one I'm sitting in, for example, which that's kind of by design. I've been trying to purposely get everyone else in the house taken care of so that whenever I do start doing deep dive stuff into my office or my shop, it's not like, oh, hey, I need you to stop and go do this other thing. So the last couple of nights, and I want to ask y'all about this because y'all all have kids. And depending on their age range, I don't know. I know this is a thing now. I don't know how far back this goes, which is why I'm kind of asking this. But anyway, so the last couple of nights, I have been installing LED strips in the boys' rooms, and they both wanted them. They got them for Christmas. And I was asking my partner at work about it, and I was just like, I know his son's in college now, and I was just like, was this a thing when Brendan was younger? And he's like, oh yeah, he totally did this, in his room or whatever. So, and it's literally just like, it's these cheap strips of LEDs like this. And they've got like a peel and stick thing on the back of them. And you literally just like most of them go all the way around the room, and then like sometimes they'll have them go down the wall or whatever, and then they it's an RGB light, so it'll go through the different colors or it'll fade and do that whole thing. To be honest, the boys they were like, Dad, was this a thing when I was like, oh no. I was like, number one, LEDs were not like anywhere near this cheap back then. But if this had been a thing when I was younger, I was like, oh, I totally would have wanted to do this. Because it's funny, as I'm putting up these LEDs, there's two parts of me. One of them is thinking, this is kind of cool. I kind of like this. And the other part of me is thinking, wow, this is starting to really look like a strip club. Like it's just like these.
Well, you were talking about a pole earlier.
I know, right? Yeah. So, so Cyrus, was this something your daughter ever did or was into, like doing the whole LEDs around the room and everything? No. So Ray, Chris, what about either one of your kids?
Logan wanted that.
Okay, cool.
But she didn't get them until we moved here, so she was like 14, and it didn't last.
Very long.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't want them anymore.
It faded for her. That being said, I had a lava lamp when I was a kid.
Yeah, I had a lava lamp.
I had a lava lamp.
Yeah, I had a lava lamp. The other thing I had, and I finally got rid of it just even a few years ago, I had one of those storm balls.
Oh yeah.
Had the lightning, they had the electricity on it. And you start messing around with that and you can figure out there's some really interesting things you can do. Like if you put a penny on it and then you just barely hover your finger over it, it will pull the electricity through it and into your finger, and you can burn yourself pretty bad with it. But you do goofy stuff as you're a kid. But yeah, and I've always I keep wanting to find one that will power off of like cheap batteries or whatever, but not the ball, but it looks like a flat disc that has kind of like the lightning going on it, because I've wanted to do a modded proton pack and have that be the cyclotron. I think that would look badass.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
But I wanted to ask if that was a thing, either if y'all had dealt with.
My daughter is like me. I don't want anything like, and she's like this too. She's like, I want my space dark, very dark. You know, if she's like, if I want light on, I'll turn a light on. You know, and if I don't want light, I don't want any light. Like, but I used to like, I don't even really. I have RGB on my computer, and I have a couple of things that have it. It's kind of cool, but like decorate with RGB, no, it would make me a little crazy, I think, because it would be like, first of all, I'd be thinking, man, I wonder how much that cost me to run these RGB lights all the time, and you know, what if one of them shorts out and I don't. It just, you know, spider web gets in there, and the cats get the thing, and it's, you know, I don't know. These cats eat tape, like tape.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So sidetrack real quick. So I got Nick's up. They both picked out two different brands. I put up Nick's first. He had 50 feet, and there was extra. In fact, like that's where this came from. This is extra from his room, and I got it put up, and it goes all the way around, and it goes down one wall, and I got put up, and everything's great. The next night I put up Alex's. It was a different brand, and it was 100 feet. And if it was 100 feet, it was 100 feet to the inch, if not under. And I got it put up, and I was like, well, what do you want me to do with the rest of it? And he's like, well, can you put it down along? I'm like, well, let's see how far we can go. Couldn't do the entire room. But as I'm going along, I'm like, the cat wants to come over and kind of start, like, it's just hanging there. And I'm just like, dude, we'll put this up. But I'm just letting you know that when we had it on that plant ledge in my previous house, and we got a cat tower tall enough that the cats could get up there, I'm like, they got up there and chewed it up. So I'm just letting you know, we'll do this. And I've already bought a replacement for him, because this morning I got woken up this morning to, Dad, all the LEDs fell down. And I'm just like, oh, it was probably just cheaper tape. So I found one that's a better quality, and that should be in tomorrow. So one of the things I love most in this world is redoing work I've already done.
Oh yeah.
Biggest pet peeve I have is redoing work I've already done.
Yeah.
So anyway.
the one thing that I would consider is getting the LED for your TV. So
I have that
on the back of the TV.
Yes.
So that's one thing I would consider.
Mine is okay. The bottom left-hand corner doesn't seem to pick up the color as well. But even then, I find I don't use it anywhere near as much as I thought I was. Like, I thought, man, every time I watch something, I'm going to have this thing on, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking about doing is my desk here, which I originally wasn't sure if I was going to keep or not, is an IKEA desk, and it's basically, it's 4 aluminum legs. It's got an aluminum outside, and then it's got frosted glass on it. And I think what I'm going to do with this, there's just enough of this. I thought I might take it and put it on the inside just to light up the glass. But even if I do that, it will be like, all right, well, I'm going to do like a light blue, or I might do, a different color. The thing, I walk into Nick's room, and he has it on strobing different colors. And I'm just like, dude, this is going to hurt your eyes in a little while, because it's already killing Daddy. So
yeah, that blue light is probably, I mean, it looks cool, but I don't know, is that good for your vision to have?
Supposedly it keeps you awake. That's one of the problems with
I've always heard that blue light deteriorates your eyes. Like it's, I mean, I don't know.
So I've never heard that part, but I mean, like I said, I wouldn't have it straight. And even if I did have it, I would have it doing that very soft, gentle, slow between the different colors. And even then it would probably be like, I'm done with that. Change it to, whatever, a single color. And even if I just had it white, it would be nice to maybe have a nice soft light, underneath, so that I have a feeling if I did that, though, Alex will probably come in here and start figuring out, oh, look, I can use this as a transfer table to start drawing stuff.
I was just trying to imagine strobe lights while you get up in the middle of the night, you got to go to the bathroom, and it's just strobe lights. You're like,
no, see, okay, so here's where I am. I'm on the opposite end. I literally just installed dimmer switches on most of the rooms in the house, and it was cheaper to buy a pack of like 10 And so I think there were like 8 rooms that had dimmer switches, and I was just like, well, what am I going to do with the last 2? I literally put one in the toilet area just because in the middle of the night you want to get up, you need a little light. Well, I don't really want to have to turn on the bright light, so we'll just turn the dimmer switch all the way down. So,
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
see, because I'm the type of person, if I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or if I have to go check on something, if there's bright light, that my brain starts going, oh, time to wake up. And I'm like, no, we have 1 more hour. Shut up. Go to sleep.
I learned a trick from my dad, and it actually really does help.
Okay.
You keep one eye closed.
I do that too sometimes. Yep.
That's like a song from Metallica.
So that's what I've been doing, is trying to finish up different things on the house and working with LEDs and
Pee with one eye open. Never mind.
I knew what you were talking about, Si. It was
Yeah.
Ray, what have you been thinking about?
or are we on to doing?
Yeah.
Or doing, I'm sorry, what have you been doing?
Doing. So 2 games that I've been playing. One, I got back into Diablo 4 because the update has occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Season 4 is now live. And if you haven't played Diablo 4 since it came out because you thought it kind of needed some updating, the updates are working. It's much better game to play now. And isn't it funny how it's like, hey, here's a great game. Oh, wait a year and then you can buy it. Like that's seems to be the
every good game.
And it's on Xbox Game Pass now. So I wouldn't even have to buy it. Like I could just go ahead and jump in there and start playing it with y'all if I can get everything else done.
Yes. So yeah, Diablo 4, big improvement there. The other one was I was trying to find another. So I finished Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, and I'm waiting for the DLC for Spider-Man 2. So I was like, well, what else can I get that would be fun to play? And I found Horizon Forbidden West, and it's a really good story, beautiful game. If you don't know anything about it, go look up Horizon first. There's something Dawn, or I can't remember the first
Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's it. So so I would highly recommend the game. It's kind of like a grown-up version of Zelda, in my opinion. So
yeah, that's a good way to describe it. It's like a more serious, better graphics.
Yeah.
No, not to say that. I mean, Breath of the Wild and what is it? Tears of the Kingdom. They look great too.
They're great. They're gorgeous, but this is more of a realistic look at that style. So yeah,
it's kind of uncanny when you say realistic. Like when the characters are talking to each other, you're like, whoa! Like this is graphics have gotten to that point where now it's like
they definitely up their game. Yeah. So
nice.
So those 2 games and really enjoying both.
Cool. Chris, what have you been doing?
I've been doing some trim painting and touch-ups. I still have to do more in the pantry and in the kitchen. And then writing. Just like a lot. I've tried to Ray got
Tell them how many words you're at.
26,000 and something.
Nice.
Yeah. So what Ray did, it was really, really helpful. So I was watching somebody I follow on Instagram, and she's a stay-at-home mom, but she runs this crochet business, and she's been doing it since before she had kids. And she's very out and loud and proud about her ADHD and like all the things she needs to help her. She's also very tall. She's 5'11", and for her, she needs a standing desk, but she's tall enough that if she sat on a stool on her kitchen counter, it would actually be fine too. So she got this thing, and it's actually a laptop tray, but for bed. And so she's like, "This is great. I got it. Look at this." And I'm like, "Oh, what if I set that on top of the island in the kitchen, and then I would have a standing desk?"
There you go.
So we got it. It was, I mean, in the UK, it was £20. So obviously for Canadian conversion, it was not $20.
No, and then shipping and all that.
As shipping and whatever, but it's made of bamboo and it's got a laptop, like an adjustable laptop stand, and it's got a built-in USB fan.
Fans. There's
to
2 little
keep
fans
the-
to help keep it cool. Yeah.
Laptop cool. And it's got a little side part for a little drink, a little set my phone down or whatever.
Little drink.
Little drink too. And it has a drawer, which I put snacks in.
There you go.
And some pens. But like it's great. So I can fold it all down, I stick it in our island, and then I can bring it all out. And that's what I do in the afternoons. And yesterday I go for like 3 hours. So it's just this really nice, because I knew I had to make it a habit. So I had to make things it's got to be part of the ritual. And yeah, so it's, and the other thing too is I'm actually like writing this story. That's been a huge improvement.
That helps.
That helps so much. But yeah, so I'm about just past a quarter of the first draft, and I'm already at 26. It's like 58 pages or something like that on computer paper. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and it's been really good. I haven't written this consistently since I first started, when the kids were little and they napped, because that's when I wrote, was nap time. And then this is Minerva.
Yes. I thought his beard just got bigger. So
yeah. But that's what I've been doing, and it's been really awesome, and I really enjoy it. And so yeah, just having that because sitting down too long, this is how old we are, sitting down too long hurts your back. And so and our couch is really squashy, which is comfy but not for writing. And and he kind of took over my desk downstairs in the office because he works from home 2 days a week and he needs his setup, which is fine.
I hate that chair.
I know. So I have a standing desk now with this really cool laptop tray that's supposed to be for the bed, but it works, and it's adjustable too. It was great.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I have a
picture
you guys.
We need to see pics of it.
I do. I have a picture. As I said to that woman, I was like, "Thank you for recommending this."
I keep thinking I need to go back to a standing desk at work. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it. I really need to. So
it's also been super helpful too, because I get because I'm like a freaking squirrel when I'm writing, because I get distracted very easily. And so I'm like, I wrote like 3 paragraphs, and then I'm looking around like, oh yeah, this needs to be clean. I go over and I do that. Or anyways, I've gotten like a lot of little micro jobs done around the house too, just by standing there and writing, because I'm scanning the area and I'm like, oh yeah, I was a little low here. And so yeah, I'm actually gotten more productive.
Nice.
Which for me is a big mood booster.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Cyrus, what have you been thinking about? Or what have you been doing? I'm sorry. What have you been doing?
Oh, what have I been doing? I don't know. Like pass. I don't know.
L-I-V-I-N. Living.
I work, play with my cats, collect DVDs now, play video games, do a channel, fight with people sometimes when I shouldn't.
Same old, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not an interesting person. You know, I don't know why anybody watches my channel. 'Cause I'm just kind of here, just hanging out, you know?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I still like watching your channel, but that's me.
Well, you're crazy.
True. And I also watch it at double speed, so
I bet I'm a lot more entertaining than double speed. I bet I sound almost like a regular person.
Maybe.
You're like, I don't know how to respond to that.
Though, is I have to say though, there is, it does raise everyone's voice a little bit. It's gotten a lot better. The technology's gotten a lot better. Everyone doesn't sound like irate squirrels, but it is funny listening to someone that at normal speed that I normally listen to their show or whatever at double speed, and I'm just like, oh, that's That's what you sound like. So anyway,
You're like, get to the point.
sometimes. So. Anyway, well, that is our show for the month, ladies and gentlemen. If you would please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes or Google. Those are probably the best two ways that you can watch the show or listen to it. You can also find it, like I said, on YouTube. You can subscribe to it that way. Don't worry about all the other stuff. You can always go to our website, epicallygeeky.com, where you can find all the shows that we do, including the Epically Geeky Show, Marginally Geeky Show, and Sustainably Geeky Show. You can find us on all the social medias at Epically Geeky, which is primarily just going to be on Facebook and Instagram. And then, of course, you can find everyone else online as well. Like Ray, where can we find you online, Ray?
The Reluctant Yeti on Instagram, pretty much that's it. I don't really go on those other ones very often. So, yeah.
Yep. Chris?
Moody Midlife on Instagram.
Cyrus?
OnlyFans, where I drop it like it's hot.
There you go.
No, just YouTube for now. For now.
Okay. And as always, you can find my individual wacky adventure online at Optimus Gene on Facebook. I guess on Facebook and Instagram. For everyone on the site, have a good night.